Petite here, and welcome back to La Petite Kitchen. Today we're going to make apple crumble scones. Now, scones are one of my favorite breakfasts, snack, whatever, and this is a very simple recipe. So we're going to start with 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. We have 4 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And we're going to combine all of that. Just like that. Then what we have is a half cup of very cold butter. Now I can put mine in the freezer for a few minutes before putting it in here. It's very important to the recipe that your butter is very cold. And you're going to use a pastry cutter and you're going to cut that in till you have a nice little crumble. Now, the reason you have to have very cold butter in pastry recipes is because as the butter cooks, it melts, it gives off moisture, which turns into steam and pops up through your little pastry there, which gives it that wonderful flaky texture that you want. So if you have a pie crust recipe or try to make croissants sometime, it will call for cold butter, and that's why. So you get that nice, flaky texture to your pastry. Okay, we got that nice and crumbly there. And now we're going to combine our wet ingredients. You know what we're going to put in here is our apples first. Now I have very thin sliced apples here. It's about 1 cup. And I'm just going to put those in there and toss them around. If you want it, if you were making blueberry scones or cranberry orange scones, I think this would be the time to add your fruit to it. There we go. Okay. Get this out of the way. Now for our wet ingredients, we are going to have in the refrigerator 2/3 of a cup of buttermilk. Now, buttermilk, I never have buttermilk on hand when I need it. So I always use buttermilk substitute. And what I do is I combine 3/4 of a cup of plain Greek yogurt with 1/4 of a cup of milk. And it's important not to substitute just plain milk for your buttermilk because you need the tanginess. It's important to the recipe. It also, the consistency is different. And then you're going to need 1 egg and a teaspoon of vanilla. All right, and you need a teaspoon of vanilla. We have all our wet ingredients combined there. Mix them up. Like that. And we're going to add them to the dry ingredients. Now we're going to combine them But we don't want to lose those chunks of butter in there, so we're just gonna mix them together until we have a nice dough. I'm just gonna mix it gently with our rubber spatula here. Like this, coming together very nicely. Now I have a silicone mat here that I like to work on, so I'm going to lightly flour that. Flour the hands a little bit, and we're going to turn this out and knead it a couple of times. It's going to be sticky. Now I like to make mini scones, so I'm going to cut this in half. I have my oven warming to 350. Pat these out. And we have our little scones right there like that. We're going to place them on a parchment paper. Okay, so now we have our scones. As you can see, they're all there, ready to cook. I preheated the oven not to 350 but to 400 for this particular scone. And we are going to brush the tops with some of our buttermilk substitute. And then we're going to make a nice crumble topping, like an apple pie crumble topping, to put on top of our little scones here. And it's going to be so wonderful. There we go. Nice. All right. There. Now, to make our crumble topping, simple crumble topping, 2 tablespoons brown sugar, 2 tablespoons granulated sugar, 2 tablespoons of flour, a half That's why it's called a crumble. You don't want to mix it up too much. You want it to be crumbly. So there you go. Crumbly topping there. You could add cinnamon to this, but I put quite a bit of cinnamon into the scones with the apples. Try to get that nice apple pie taste. There we go. All right, we are ready to pop these into the oven. Ready? All right, so I'm going to put these in our 400-degree oven on the center rack for about 20 minutes until they're nice and golden brown. All right, our 20 minutes are up. And we're going to check on our scones here. Look how beautiful, lightly browned, absolutely gorgeous. We're going to let those cool now and serve them up. All right, so here are our finished apple crumble scones. Now you can dress them up. You can serve them with a dollop of our wonderful Devonshire cream and a touch of jam. There you go. Enjoy. Oops. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our wonderful recipes. And check our links for all our little kitchen gadgets. Thank you again.